Are you a good dancer?
Yes. Very good, actually. People say I am, but I like dancing a lot.
Hey, I'm Grace Miles from Artiden, and today we have an awesome guest. Her name is Anne Makosinski. Anne was 15 years old when she invented the body heat-powered flashlight. She won the Google Science Fair with this invention, and she's been inspiring people around the world. Anne Makosinski was also named one of the top 30 under 30 world changers by Time. Hey Anne, I'm thrilled to have you here. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. So you invented a body heat powered flashlight. That is so awesome. Can you tell us how you went about building this? Did you have any goals or milestones along the way?
I think with a journey project that you're working on, or anything that you are determined to do and you want to go from start to finish, you could kind of compare it, I guess, to like a stream and like a smooth tunnel, and you keep going, but there's going to be like rocks on the way. That's really cheesy, but they'll slow you down, obviously. But I think it's a very fluid process. And I did have milestones, as you said, like, or places where I was like, this is like hopeless, but like, you just have to keep on going. And goals wise, I didn't really have any. I knew I had a final goal, which was to create and finish the flashlight that ran solely from the heat of the human hand, but I didn't have any in between. It was a very, a process that if you get it right, it'll start flowing, but very smoothly, and you'll feel that it's like the same with like a performance on stage. You've gotten it right when it just flows out of you and it requires no effort. I mean, obviously it requires a lot of effort, but when things are going right. But usually most of the time when creating a science project, especially if you don't know what's going to happen because no one's done it before, I didn't cover a lot of like rocks or bumps on the way, but you just have to keep on going.
Exactly. Do you want to show us your flashlight?
Yeah, that's such a good question. Where is it? I don't know where it is. Okay, so here's my flashlight. Here's my flashlight. I don't know. It's not lit up right now. You can see it's hollow. It's my hand there. And those are the three lights, and I just painted them white. Sorry, I painted it black around here.
Okay.
It's hollow. There's a hollow tube there, and then it's coated. These here are the Peltier tiles, these white tiles. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Probably you won't be able to see it, but...
I can see it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, this is like really bad lighting for it, but I promise you it is on.
Yeah, I believe you.
But, yeah, that's
cool.
It's very simple. Right now, I'm creating a headlamp, which I brought a small one to Google with me.
Now, starting a big project like this is never really that easy, but how did you start your flashlight?
I had built a flashlight the previous year for science fair, the local science fair over here. This was kind of continuation, but instead of last year's being a flashlight that harvested the kinetic energy, this year it became harvesting the thermal energy. Kind of went from there, and I had used Peltier tiles, which I use in my flashlight, my previous science fair project, I think in grade 7. So this was kind of a mishmash of a whole bunch of projects I'd done beforehand together into one. I went to the Philippines in grade 5, so it's been quite a while. I keep in contact with some friends there, and one of the girls there, she said, like, I was talking with her on, like, iMessage or whatever, and she's like, I failed my entire, like, year of school. And I was like, what happened? Because she's a very smart girl, and she said that she didn't have any light in her house because they didn't have any electricity. So when she did her chores and like took care of her family after she came back from school, nighttime was when she was supposed to study. And since she did not have any light, she couldn't see, and she failed. So that was very unfortunate. And, a lot of people around the world do not have electricity, and they have a similar problem or even worse. So I wanted to help.
And it's a really great thing that you're doing. When we were chatting earlier, you mentioned that you like to play piano. What else do you like to do when you're not doing your flashlight?
I play the piano. I try to play every day. I do piano. My grades are a bit better than usual, so people should do piano. I think it helps you concentrate. If I didn't do piano, my grades went down, so it was really embarrassing. My last exam was like 2 summers ago. I was so bad at the scales. I just killed them. And I was like, I don't know what this is. I'll just play. Maybe it sounds right. Like, I was so bad. But my pieces are all right. I like playing a lot of pieces from different eras. I mean, sometimes early 1900s, 1940s, 1960s, and 70s. I like sight reading a lot. Because I do that a lot because we have so many like books we got from like garage sales.
Yeah.
So I just have to read through them all.
Do you want to share some of your public speaking tips with us?
When you're memorizing your speech or practicing it, you should always be moving. That's how I memorize my stuff. I'll sing it or I'll dance while I do it. In different accents. I like doing accents. Be conscious of how you are standing when you talk. This one I still have to keep in mind. Sometimes people are like this or they're like this or they're like rocking back and forth. That's really distracting.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to let those little distractions take over, but we have to try to stay away from those. And one thing that's really great for improving your performance is filming yourself and then watching it afterwards. I mean, I find it very awkward, but it's a really great way to see where you're at and then be able to see what else you can do to get better.
I wouldn't say fake it till you make it, but you need to give the impression that you know what you're talking about, or at least that you're confident. Of course you know what you're talking about, but like you need to give the impression that you're like feeling prepared and not nervous, which I mean a lot of people struggle with being like public speaking. Just a lot of practice. You need to be brave, and if people are there listening to you, that means they spent their time listening to you. So make it worth their time and like know that they're actually interested in what you're talking about. So I felt like, I don't feel important enough, or I don't feel like they're going to be interested. But, you know, they are interested. You got them there, so keep them interested. If you have glasses, don't wear glasses so you don't see the reaction of your audience, and then you'll be fine because you'll think they're just all really entertained. And also, you need to have expression. And don't have any weird things where you end all your sentences like this, or you go up like in your sentence like this. I find that I can't listen to either of those. I just go absolutely nuts. Like, can you not hear yourself? Yeah, make sure you have some inflection in what you're saying. There was these radio shows in the 1940s spoken by Basil Rathbone, who was a great Shakespearean actor and Hollywood actor, and Ed Bruce, and they used to do radio shows, and they're just wonderful radio shows. I always listened to those from around grade 5 or grade 6. Continuously whenever I was doing my work, and the way they talk really taught me how to like enunciate properly. I think a lot of English or great actors, they can talk properly, so you should just listen to a lot of that, and I think that helps me a lot. I still listen to it when they were doing it the other day. I was actually like saying exactly what they were saying because I've listened to it so many times. And you need to practice enunciating. I mean, actually, I'm still really nervous about talking sometimes, and like I have like this really old book about like elocution for beginners. So, you know, I like look through that and I practice, you know, enunciating like New York, New York, New York, things like that. You know, there's like a lot of things you can do. It's just a lot of practice. You can't get anywhere without practice.
Exactly.
You don't have to be smart to do science of any sort. I mean, if you saw my physics and chemistry grades, you wouldn't believe that it was my grades, because people think I'm really smart at school science. But this is like an interest. As long as you're interested in something, I've been really interested in energy harvesting, and if you have a passion for it, you can develop it, and then you can show people like, this is what I've done. I mean, to get a job like nowadays, you have to stand out. One tip I learned is that you need to be able to show your work. And a lot of people have the same qualifications, but if you can show the person or something that you've done independently, that's what counts.
Exactly. It's so important to stand out these days. I mean, it's both harder and easier to stand out now that everyone is on the internet. But one way that anyone can really stand out is by writing a great blog, because you become known for your ideas and your individuality, and your blog really follows you throughout your life and your career. And you have to stand out, and doing something extra, something that shows your passion, helps you stand out and puts you a cut above everyone else.
You just need to be different. That was another thing I was really raised on, was not afraid to be different. I used to call myself, when I was small, I made up this word, it's called a differentist. And I was like always different than everyone. I used to have like my parents put a bowl around my head. That's how I used to have haircuts. I used to have like Harry Potter glasses, and everyone thought I was a guy, and I dressed like I can't even look at pictures how I dress. But, you know, like, I always have this idea of being different. I mean, now that I've grown older, it's definitely harder because of, like, what the media feeds you and social outlets. But you shouldn't, it's hard, but, like, don't be sucked into what the media says all the time. You need to be different. And me, like a lot of the time I just spend time by myself and I try to figure out what my passions are, what defines me as an individual.
Do you ever worry about being judged?
I was very conscious about my physical appearance and that I like tried to be different. And I had like braces and glasses and I was just like that weird kid. After a while, you need to get over it and you just need to chill. Like, anyways, why should you care what they think? If that's what you want to do, then you should go ahead and do it. I mean, people's opinions shouldn't be stopping you.
Exactly. I mean, if you have this negativity inside, it's very hard for other people to turn that around for you because you're projecting it onto other people and out into the world. So before you expect anyone else to accept you, you have to be okay with the way that you look and the way you think and the way you act. Because you have a unique style that no one else has, and you have unique skills and whatnot, and you should be okay with that.
Yeah. You need to be confident with yourself. If you're going to blend in with the crowd and be like everyone else, that shows that you're not confident about your individuality. It's important to be, you know, confident with who you are, and like no matter what you look like or what you dress or what you think, what your beliefs are, it's like feeling like everyone's staring at you. They're actually not. I always had a conflict thing with my glasses. I was like, oh my god, everyone's staring at me because I'm wearing glasses. So then I'd be like, I have to take them off. Now I'm just like, dude, it's chill. It's okay. Anyways, science people usually wear glasses.
Yeah, why break the cliche? I love that. And one thing that people always worry about is being judged and performing on stage. You know, people start thinking, oh, am I good enough for this? Am I good enough to teach this, to share the skill with anyone else? But at a certain point, we have to say that, you know, we're all human and making one mistake is okay. We don't have to be perfect all the time. And also, people connect with mistakes, believe it or not, because making mistakes means you're human, and humans connect with other humans. So that's something I tell myself as well. But there have been studies done where people are more likely to feel closer to you if you are able to display emotions like modesty. But everyone has a unique style, and you have a unique style as well. If you think it's valuable to you, then chances are there is someone else out there who is going to think it's valuable as well. And you shouldn't hide that because it's valuable to you and to the world. And even if your skills aren't perfect right now, if your style isn't the way you like it as of right now, you can always work towards perfecting it. There really is no perfect time.
Yeah, as long as you learned the most that you can as proceeding. I mean, you're going to have some falls and trips in the road, but, you know, as long as you know you tried and go out there, people are going to admire that you're having the courage to do what you want and everything. So you just need to go out there and do your thing, whatever it is. If your passion's singing, dancing, science, lawyerism, whatever your passion is, you need to go out and you need to find, especially when you're young, find opportunities to get involved in places, because that's how you're going to get technical experience. You can read all you want about something, but if you haven't practiced physically with your hands or your legs or whatever, it's not going to be as good.
I love that so much. Thank you so much for coming on. It was so much fun doing this.
Yeah, fun. Thank you for inviting me.
Bye. Thank you so much for being here. If you like this video and you want more of this, come on over to get free email updates at rdn.com/exclusive. There are some things that I only say in email. I'll see you soon. There should be an on-air sign over here. I'll get it when I finish my 100th video. You've got to be kidding me. A point there. You've got a point there. Okay, 50 questions. Let's go. Do you have any pets?
Yes, I have one cat.
Where are you from?
I am from Victoria, BC, Canada.
How many pairs of shoes do you own?
I think 5.
What shoe size are you?
7.
What form of public transport do you prefer?
Does my dad count?
If you were a superhero, what kind of powers would you have?
I would be able to fly and be invisible.
Can you juggle?
No.
Can you solve a Rubik's Cube?